Hello, and welcome to the Road to Innsmouth. Join us as we take a journey into the world of the strange, creepy, and unexplained. We're your hosts. I'm Matt.
And I'm Gareth.
We'd first like to thank all of you who have subscribed to our YouTube channel and downloaded our podcast, as well as follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We really appreciate it, and we hope you like what we're doing.
And leaving us nice messages.
Yes, and people have messaged us, dropped comments, and also who've shared stories. It's been fantastic. Thank you.
We've all been positive. We haven't had any bad ones yet.
No, I'm sure we will at some point.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Right, well, today's episode is on the famous case of the Owlman of Mornan, or the Cornish Owlman, depending on where you've heard it from.
That's the village, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of like a village. I've been there once when I was on holiday. It's essentially like there's Mornan and Mornan Smith. I think Mornan Smith's the village, and Mornan is essentially just a church on the hill up from the village. I think it's a bit of it's one of those very, very small, like little almost hamlets that you find out, especially down Cornwall way. So the first sighting was on the 17th of April 1976 over St Mornan and St Stephen's Church. The witnesses were June and Vicky Melling, who were on holiday, and they reportedly saw a large winged, feathered covered man. Apparently they then went back to tell their father, and on hearing the story, he cut their holiday short and they went home.
Yeah, because they weren't old, was they?
No, I haven't actually officially found their age, but they were like kids.
Teenagers, I think. Yeah, they were teenagers.
Yeah, I think they're 12, 13, yeah.
I think they were that old.
This was investigated.
They were camping as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think. Oh no, that was the second sighting, I think.
Well, I thought they were camping as well.
They might have been at a campsite, but I don't think they were camping there. I think they were just like walking in that area, I think.
Okay.
It was investigated by Tony Doc Shields. One of the witnesses produced a drawing of what they saw, and we'll put it up on our Instagram and Facebook page for you guys.
I thought both the girls drew a picture.
Yeah, there's multiple pictures. I think there's like 4. One drew a single picture, and one drew, I think, like 2 or 3 with like annotated.
Because they look quite similar, don't they? They've got like black claws.
Yeah.
Like, more like crab claws than actual claws that you'd find.
Yeah, but again, it could just be that they weren't great at drawing, so I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, no.
Like whether it's meant to represent like eagle type claws or whether it was something else.
But he didn't. The guy who investigated, he investigated them all, didn't he? Was only one person.
Yeah. So it was described as between 5 and 6 feet tall and a wingspan of 10 feet, with a mixture of a human and owl-like features. And then further in July of the same year, there's another report by 2 14-year-old girls, Sally Chapman and a Barbara Perry. They were camping when they heard reports. When they reported seeing a large owl-type creature with glowing eyes and large black claws. Then there are various other sightings which weren't brilliantly noted between at 78, 79, 89, 95. And then also a loud owl call type shriek was heard in the vicinity of the church in the year 2000. And that was essentially all until last year, where in 2019, Mark Davis was in the church graveyard with his friend Chris Power conducting a paranormal investigation when they heard a hissing from the trees and a flapping of large wings. He then reported seeing a humanoid figure in the graveyard who had horns on its head. There's like a YouTube video. I think he's got put it on YouTube. It's not super clear. Again, I'll get a screen cap of that and put it up on our Facebook and Instagram. It's quite blurry, but apparently he was able to communicate with the entity using an EMF meter, and he also reported his friend got attacked as scratches appeared on his arm and his camera got broken. But it's not really defined how his camera got broken. So I don't know whether he means it literally malfunctioned in terms of the electronics and it no longer worked, or physically got like smashed on the floor.
Yeah.
That wasn't really clear. Locals, when questioned, have stated that they still hear loud noises coming from the church, and one reported seeing a large orange orb disappearing into one of the gravestones. And also bears noting that it resembles other winged humanoids like Mothman. Also got the Thunderbird and the Mexican-American Lechuza, which is like an owl witch from their folklore. And also has appeared in the vicinity of a series of reported UFO sightings as well, which is another commonality between it and Mothman.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the main thrust of the story. There's not actually, for something that's quite well known, there's not tons of information about it.
Well, no, but apart from the 2019 one,
yeah,
all the others were investigated by one man, wasn't they?
Yeah, just Tony Shields. So Tony Shields is a known magician and hoaxer.
Yeah.
He had reported it, or it was reported to him via a family friend. So like he's the link between every single report outside of this 2019 report.
Yeah.
Which has obviously made a lot of people believe that it was just a hoax.
Well, he said that when he went to see the two girls, the dad wouldn't allow him to see the girls, but went and got them to draw pictures. That's how he got the images of them.
Yeah, I think so. I'll have to reread Jonathan Downes' book actually, but I believe there was
because a lot of people don't believe him.
No, and being a known hoaxer and a magician and sort of never taking things too seriously, it's hard to know. Although he still never insisted that it was anything other than genuine.
Yeah, well, he is a cryptozoologist as well, isn't he? As well as all the other bits. He does.
I mean, the other possible explanation, which everyone thinks when you naturally think of this, is a large barn owl, or even possibly an eagle owl was seen.
Yeah. Because there is some massive owls out there. I know we don't get them in the UK.
Yeah. And if you think eagle owls are absolutely vast as well.
Yeah, there is owls out there with like 8-foot wingspan or 10-foot wingspan.
Yeah,
anyway.
So quite possibly something like that.
Dark, and you're a child. That's gonna scare you.
Yeah, especially if you've never seen one before. I mean,
I can't remember the program I watched, but there was something to do with aliens and people seeing, being abducted and they were seeing an owl's face in the window before they were abducted or something.
Oh, really? No, I haven't heard of that.
I can't remember the program, but there was something to do with owls' faces and abductions and aliens and stuff like that. Someone might listen to this and correct us. They would see an owl, but in their window.
Yeah.
UFO sightings or UFO experiences.
I did also find a report. I think one of the Cornish local papers reported it, that the actual first ever sighting was in 1926, when the Cornish Echo reported that 2 boys had been chased by a very large and ferocious bird.
Okay.
But that's it was like a little 1-sentence throwaway article as far as I could see, and I couldn't find the actual article. But if that was not known, then, I mean, there's also, you've got the argument that Tony Shields also then used a legend that he already know had existed to form a hoax around.
Yeah. But Jonathan Downes obviously went on to write a whole book on it.
Yeah, but it's there's other creatures and stuff involved as well in that.
Is it all flying humanoids, is it?
I think it's and other creatures.
Oh, okay, so it's just UK based, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably like getting off 10 years ago that I read it. I'll have to have a reread of it actually. But he does quite a lot on it, and he has all the reproduced pictures and everything.
He doesn't say whether he believes in it or.
No, and also I think because obviously you've got links to the Mothman and everything as well, so it's not out of the realms that people know about large flying humanoids. As I say, as Chicago in the last few years has reported many.
Yeah, there's other winged cryptids as well, isn't there? Out there, not just humanoid ones. There is winged cryptids in general, like giant bat.
Yeah, and people have still reported seeing pterosaurs and stuff, don't they?
Yeah, and obviously, like you said, you've got the Native Americans who had the eagle, the
Thunderbird, yeah.
Thunderbird, yeah. And then you got, I saw a headline today, I haven't read the story yet, but it was about a winged Sasquatch.
Oh, really? What was that?
Yeah. I don't know, I just read the title and I didn't get any further.
But that's all I've really got on that one. What do you think?
I don't know, it's a tough one, because it's all of his information.
That is the thing, it all comes from a single source, and neither of us really like that only coming from one source.
No. And because if you look at has he got anything to gain by being the only source? Yeah, of course he has. Gave him a bit of publicity, didn't it?
Yeah, and also just the fact he's a known hoaxer, he obviously thrives on trying to trick people. So he wouldn't even need a monetary need. He obviously enjoys just tricking people and stuff anyway.
Yeah, I don't know what.
And sort of rid of it. So.
Yeah, but if people have seen it, whether it is a giant owl or not, I suppose if you look at the animals, like we've talked about big cats that have been released into the wild. Yeah. Otherwise, you can pay duty on them. There's no reason why someone couldn't have actually had a massive owl from abroad that had to release it because they didn't want to pay tax on it because it was an exotic animal.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'd have to have special licenses if you wanted to breed big owls from other countries. You can't just import them, can you? Like the big cats.
No, that's right. No, you'd have to. Well, not legally anyway. So.
No, so if they brought in that big tax for exotic animals, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, let's release all our big cats," and then someone's like, "Oh shit, I've got a big owl in my shed. I better get rid of that as well."
Yeah.
As well as all the other, I'm sure we have other animals as well that we might get rid of.
Yeah, I mean that's quite a big explanation for is that it was actually an unusual known animal.
Because I think owls live for like 60 years as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure they can live a long time, especially captivity ones. I think obviously less in the wild.
Well, they've got predators in the wild, haven't they?
Predators, obviously, as they slow down, it's harder for them to catch stuff. But yeah, I mean, their actual lifespan can be quite long.
Yeah, I'm sure it's I'm sure it's like 60 years.
Yeah, it's definitely into the decades, isn't it?
Biggest owl in the world, a Blakiston's fish owl, with a body the size of a small child and a wingspan of up to 2 meters. It's the largest owl in the world.
Wow.
Could be that one then, I guess.
I suppose it depends how common that would be.
Yeah, or if it's still.
I mean, eagle owls have a wingspan of 6 foot, and they've got like those horn type shapes on their head, haven't they, over their eyes?
Yeah.
I mean, there's always the charts, that a completely alien species of owl got lost over those like few days or that month.
Yeah. Eurasian eagle owl, in a natural habitat, they can live for 20 years. So, when was the first sighting and when was the last? Not including the 2019 one, because that could have just been a paranormal.
76, and then there was sightings in 79 and 89 and 95. So it's 20 years.
Okay, so yeah, so it could
be just one. Yeah, it could have been one.
And just died.
Yeah, it couldn't find a mate because it was, the only one in the area.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's quite possible. And the other ones, I don't know what they reported seeing, because there's only like detailed reports of the first 2 encounters, which are a couple of months apart.
Yeah, I guess he didn't get a chance to interview them.
Yeah, so it just says there's other reported sightings, but what they saw, without knowing that, it'd be hard to know whether that was the same creature or whether it was just they saw something weird and just put it down to being the Owlman cryptid or what, really.
The Eurasian eagle owl has a distinct vocal pattern, so people who might say they heard stuff.
Yeah, exactly. If you've never heard of it before.
And it does have really bright orange eyes. 20 years, that covers the span. It's like the guy who said he heard something in the bushes near the trees. Didn't say he heard. Did he hear flapping, or did he just hit in 2019?
He heard hissing in the trees, which owls are known to hiss, and then a flapping of wings.
Oh, he did hear flapping of wings.
But then there could just be also a large owl that you're in its territory.
Yeah, but he's also, to be fair, he's in an area known for Owlman.
Yeah, looking specifically for it as well.
Yeah. In the church where he's already had some activity on his reader, on his EMF.
No, don't stop it being. It could even be a regular owl because all owls can hear, and then because you're in its territory, it hisses, flies off, and then he catches something a bit weird. But it's like really grainy. It could just be a shadow quite easily.
Oh, well, he has whatever is flying out of the tree.
No. He spins his camera around later, and you can see what he's saying. You can see like a silhouette of like a humanoid with horns on its head.
Yes, that's got no.
I mean, it could literally be a shadow. It's in a cemetery. They cast so many weird shadows because you have so many unusual types of like buildings and stuff in cemeteries that they just cast all kinds of shadows.
Yeah, and you have big,
and if you're naturally someone who's going there to look for that thing, your mind's already set of like something weird happens. It must be like the Owlman or something. So
but his description of horns, he's never been described as having horns. Is he Owlman?
No, I don't think so.
No, so that doesn't make.
I don't know why. Like owls look like they have horns, but that's an owl. So
yeah.
Yeah. And I never saw none of the pictures showed that it had
horns.
It had like a flat, almost a cowl of feathers over its head.
Yeah, so like a helmet.
Yeah, almost.
Like you said, lots of birds mimic hissing to scare away predators. It could have just been any. Because a bird flapping in a tree, doesn't necessarily have to be big to make enough sound.
Pigeons are a nightmare when they take off.
Yeah,
especially if they're in the middle of a tree and they're smashing the branches as they're taking off.
Yeah, and barn owls, they screech. They don't hoot like you expect them. You think of an owl and you think of a hooting sound. Barn owls actually screech. So something like that you said. If he's there at night time as well and they're hunting.
Or I don't know when their mating season is either. So, or whether they had nests or something, that they're protecting or whatever. Yeah, I don't really read much into that. I think it just made the headlines because everyone's like, dragging up an old legend kind of thing. So yeah, I don't really think there was much to that sighting. And without like the detail, it's really hard to have any sort of conclusion other than they potentially saw a rare Eurasian eagle owl or something like that.
Yeah,
especially at night, you generally overjudge the size of things because you can't differentiate between any shadows being cast and what's casting it and stuff like that. So yeah, it says here they can eagle owls can live up to 50 years in captivity as well.
Yeah, it was 20 years in their natural habitat.
Yeah.
But once it's been released into the wild, it's now a natural habitat. Because they eat rodents and stuff, don't they?
They could kill a fox.
Wow. So...
I don't know, to me, it seems more and more like it's probably a more exotic bird that they saw. And they are currently claimed to be between 12 and 40 pairs of eagle owls nesting in Britain. Okay. But no one is certain how many of these have escaped from captivity. Eagle owls were used as decoys to catch birds such as magpie for centuries. Or how many have naturally immigrated from Europe.
Because the eagle owl is more active at night, but they spend their days roosting. So they're strange. So they are here, though.
Yeah, just not many, and it's not obviously not common. And this is up to date now. This is from 2016, so I don't know 40 years ago how many were here. But it's quite possible there was at least a few pairs, and one,
Yeah, wingspan is 68 inches, though. That's not big set in feet.
6 foot. It's pretty decent.
Yeah, and you're obviously always going to be slightly...
And especially if you're smaller.
It's night time.
If you're like 12, so it's got a 6 foot wingspan, or if it was sitting on top of a tombstone or something.
Yeah.
So the shadow looked like a full size person.
They're only about 2 foot high, though.
That's what I mean. So if it's perched on like a tombstone and then spread its wings to take off, and then the kids ran away, that would quite easily be 5 foot.
Did they see it flap its wings and fly away, or did it just rise up? Because with Mothman, he was in America. He was supposed to just open his wings and then kind of rise. He never flapped.
They just reported they saw a large winged, feathered, covered man.
Okay, so he could have just been standing there then.
But yeah, none of their drawings show a man.
No, he's got like black claws.
Yeah, and the face, like, it doesn't have like lips or anything.
No, he's got a beak, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just a giant owl with massive...
It looks like just a giant owl, yeah.
Because it could have been carrying something else. It could have caught prey and that could have been hanging down below.
Yeah.
Making it longer.
Yeah, they didn't say whether it was flying or not.
And they said, man, did they say how big it is? Did they say how tall they thought it was? I know they said 10
Between
foot
5 and 6 foot tall and a 10 foot wingspan.
If they're about 2 foot, we need another 4 foot. So yeah, I suppose a big gravestone or something like that.
Yeah.
Or if it's in the trees on a bright light.
Or a fence post or something.
Yeah, it's night time, isn't it? They didn't see it in broad daylight.
Yeah, exactly. And it seems like a fairly fleeting look.
Well, they do hoot.
Yeah.
They are quite scary looking, though, to be fair, when you see one in flight.
Oh, yeah. And their eyes could easily, if there was any kind of street lighting or anything like that, could easily reflect the light and give it like a dark orange glow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I guess. Well, where were they? You've been there, so you know what it's like, how dark it gets. Because obviously there might be more lights now, but
yeah, I mean it can get dark, but then they don't say what the weather's like. I was there when it was nearly a full moon, and it was like those really bright full moons, especially getting like down the coast, where it's almost like a silver daytime. It's so bright.
Yeah.
So I don't know. For me, I think it makes a nice legend, but I don't think there's much to it.
Yeah. There is other stuff down there, though, isn't there? They've got a fair share of crypto sea creatures and...
Oh, yeah, lots, yeah.
In the certain areas. Yeah, I don't believe the 2019 one, was it? A horned creature.
No, I see a still up on the YouTube video anyway, just so people can see it, but...
Yeah, it sounds like he may have just heard something fly in the bushes and then just happened to... Well, because they're not saying it's paranormal, are they now, man? Has anyone said it? They think it's paranormal?
No, I mean they've kind of tried to link it a little bit to UFO sightings and stuff, but some strange lights flying. But no direct it's always been treated more as a cryptid, I guess.
Yeah, it's not like I don't know if there was any UFO sightings around the first time, but having to communicate with his EMF reader doesn't sound if he communicated with it.
Yeah.
No one else has said that they've ever done that, have they?
No.
So whatever, he might have been just communicating with something else.
Yeah. That's true.
But while he's there, I suppose if you're in that place, you're going to associate it with Owlman every time.
Yeah.
Sounds like he had an eventful night, that guy, though.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously made some good viewing for him and a bit of excitement, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, did you say and it got reported in the paper as well, the 2019?
Yeah, I think it got reported in the paper and went a little bit viral on the video and stuff. So.
Okay. Yeah, because he's not been. Owlman's never appeared anywhere else, has he?
No, not as far as I know.
Not been reported to him anywhere else in the UK.
No.
That would be interesting if he had been, because obviously Mothman now is appearing in other places.
Yeah, no, it's very much a local legend.
Yeah, folklore. Looking at the drawings done by a child, isn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah.
It does look like an owl, though, whichever way you look at it.
Yeah, that's what I think. It looks. There's very much little of a man, of the owl man, in those drawings.
The only thing that they've done when they've drawn it is they've given it hands on its wings, at the end of its wings.
Yeah.
But the black claws. It's pretty covered in feathers, isn't it?
Yeah.
And looking at the church, there is some big gravestones in there.
Yeah.
And there's trees in there that you can sit in. And it's not been seen anywhere else apart from around that church. So it does sound like it was, it's just rest. So, yeah. I think I'm led to believe it was an owl.
Yeah, I'm led to believe it was an owl as well, yeah.
But I like to leave it folklore or Cornwall.
Yeah.
Especially if there's stuff going back further than that. Like you said, there was other stories.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, if there was, it could still be an owl, just meant there was some breeding owls there. But then I suppose there'd be some nature documentation. Someone would have researched that, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. I don't know. And maybe if you look deeper, if you're just looking for owl man, but not owl, maybe if you Google owls of Cornwall, you might actually find there is a.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, I didn't really look that way. No. But I think you're right. Yeah.
It would be cool, but I think it's just a child's imagination and a hoaxer.
Yeah, I think you're right. I believe they probably that could well have been a genuine report from the girls.
Yeah.
And then it was sprung on and changed into something it wasn't.
Well, yeah, he was telling people that only he was getting being able to talk to witnesses because they didn't want to talk to anyone else. They just wanted to talk to him as well. So it was like people couldn't go and investigate because he saying no, they won't talk to you.
Yeah.
He was from there, wasn't he, or locally? He's from Cornwall.
Yeah, he lived there for years. I think he's moved to Ireland now, but yeah, he lived there for years.
Yeah, so he has got some sort of we only speak to locals kind of thing he had going on, didn't he?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, didn't give anyone else a chance at the time to go down there and interview anyone.
Which is probably how he wanted it, I'd imagine.
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, if the girls were genuine, all the others might have been fake.
Yeah.
But I think the dad was being quite protective over them. They didn't want, even he said he didn't want him to speak to them. But he got them the drawings, and they drew them in separate rooms apparently, and so they look quite similar, even though they were drawn apart. But they just look like giant owls to me.
Yeah, me too.
I think if you asked your eldest to draw an owl man.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too different from that.
No, interesting story.
Yeah, it's a really good story.
But I think it's just a case of hysteria from kids.
But yeah, I think that's it really. So good story, but probably not much else to it.
Yeah, good folklore.
Yeah.
Scare your kids at night. Don't go to the graveyard.
The
owl man might get you.
We'd like to, before we go, we'd just like to give a shout out to Cryptid TV. So please go and look at them, give them a follow on Facebook and Twitter. And they're a good bunch of guys interested in all things cryptid. So go and have a look and have a chat with them. The link will be in our podcast description and also on the YouTube channel description. So if you just want to go there and click through, that'd be great. Thank you all for listening. Please drop us a like, share and subscribe. Rate us where you can. That'd be fantastic. We should be available on all the hosting sites for podcasts now, and obviously our YouTube channel. And if you join our Facebook page or Instagram page, you'll get an update as soon as a new podcast goes live.
On Twitter, you can follow us on Twitter.
Oh yeah, follow us on Twitter as well.
You can send us comments, likes, retweets.
And if you ever want to email us, it's insmithinfo@yahoo.com.
Yeah, share your encounters with the paranormal, scary, creepy, cryptid.
And until next time, see you later.
See you later. Stay safe. Bye.